Aneurin Donald, lovely to chat to you. The record-breaking Aneurin Donald as well. It's been a decent start to life at Derbyshire for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. After being hit on the head a few weeks back and missing the first few games, I seem to have found a bit of sense and form. So nice to be hitting them well and to be back out there in the T20 Blast.
Who hit you on the head a little bit earlier?
Josh Hull did, to be fair. So he's one of a select few actually. I don't normally get hit on the head, so he can certainly add himself to the list there.
Oh, go on then. And I must press you. Who's on the list? Josh Hull, left armour as well. That's difficult to face.
Yeah,
isn't it?
he is. I think, to be fair, the only ones I can think of off the top of my head, unless bowlers get in contact after this, is I think just Jofra's got me a while ago in red ball. Yeah, so it's not too bad. I tend to avoid them, but yeah, he clocked me a few weeks ago, so good for him.
Was it? Sometimes people talk about a little bit of difficult to get back on the horse, to use a phrase. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was all right. To be honest, it's more frustrating than anything. I felt pretty rough for a couple of days, and obviously after a pretty heavy red ball block, you see the T20 around the corner, and you're kind of licking your lips, ready to go. And yeah, so I missed the first 3 games, which is a bit of a shame, but it actually gave me a little bit of time to prepare, I guess. In the end, as I'm sure you're well aware, the turnaround's pretty sharp in these things these days. So it actually gave me a week to kind of build up to T20 and kind of hit the ground running.
Yes, it's life on the road, isn't it?
Absolutely.
T20. And it feels like your preparation paid off. I mean, you're not content with breaking Derbyshire's record for the fastest ever T20 half century. You then equalled your own 5 days later. It must feel pretty good.
Yeah, it did, especially after lobbing my first ball up the chute for Derby against Nottingham. That was my first game, so it was nice to get back on the horse pretty quick. But yeah, it's always good to back it up. But I think, from my end, well, that's T20 in a nutshell. But certainly for my own game, it's been nice to back it up. I've always felt like I've had kind of the top level to my game. I think that's never really been in question. It's about how often can I do it, and I certainly feel in a position to do it more and more often now.
Yes, because if we go right back for a second, well, it was against Derbyshire, wasn't it, when you made that absolutely rapid double hundred, peppering all corners of Colwyn Bay? I mean, that must feel like a long time ago now.
It does. You're making me feel old already. I think I'm officially on the downslope now.
Oh, you can't be. Well, you're only mid-20s, mate. It's just longevity.
That's
You're on the up.
Oh, well, Mads is still getting better, and Samit's doing all right. So maybe I've got a few years left in me.
Yes, you're one of the youngsters. Do you go into because often in football and games like that, you play young versus old. Where do you fit? Because you're in that middle zone now. Which team are you on?
First and foremost, I avoid football like the plague for good reason.
Okay.
So I stand.
That's a real faux pas.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I'm pretty much standing on the side refereeing these days. So luckily, I get avoid the good thing about refereeing is that I avoid the young old split actually. So I'm certainly on the fence there.
Well, you've got a decent excuse. I'd love to say it was a good segue by me. It really wasn't. It was a fraudulent slip. Let's talk about that time at Hampshire, because you went there looking to push international ambitions. And can you talk to us a little bit about what it was like mentally to first have that injury and then almost be coming back and it basically reoccur?
Yeah, it was really difficult. Like, it's probably the most difficult part of my career without a doubt. And obviously moved down to Hampshire. Had a really decent first year. Kind of got my foot in the door and felt like I was really improving. And then tragedy struck, if you like, playing five-a-side football. So that's taught my lesson. Hence why I avoid the football warm-ups.
Yes.
And I think, as you said there, the most. It was hard enough anyway, but kind of going through that process and kind of ticking every single box I could and feeling really confident to kind of be struck down again straight off the back of it was a really dark time. But fortunately enough, I said Hampshire are amazing at supporting me, and the people around me, family, friends, and teammates. I was really fortunate that they kind of looked after me so well as they did there. And it's just feel like I've ever been kind of getting back on the horse ever since. And that's the reason I took the opportunity here. Mickey's really backed me and the guys here, and I'm playing every game of every format, and it's such a great place to be in, and hopefully I can keep cracking on from here.
Yes, because people forget it's a big decision to move or to have to move, because it's not just about sport, it's about life, isn't it? You've moved down there, you've set up a family, you've been there for 4 or 5 years, you've got friends and people around you, so you have to leave them behind.
Yeah, it's really difficult. And on the topic of all that, I'm kind of renting a room up here. My missus is still down south. We're still trying to sell the house. So if anyone listens to this is interested in the house down in Southampton, please get in touch. I'll pay Sam the finder's fee. So yeah, but as you said, from the outside in, and people maybe not involved in professional sport, I'm uprooting my life again. My partner moved down to Southampton, and within a year we're back on the road, relocating just as far away from home, which is Swansea. So it's part of the thrill of professional sport, but also probably the side that people don't see. You're making these choices not just for the better of your cricketing career, but also for your lifestyle.
Yes. Is Russell Martin basically following you around then?
I won't go that far. No, absolutely not.
Is he going to be the next Derby County manager? Well, you can probably
Well,
boo Southampton back in the Premier League.
I was about to say, I feel like we're doing a very similar career path at the minute, but I think he's just got me nabbed at the minute. But it would be interesting to see where he ends up.
And talk to me. Well, actually, let's talk about Hampshire, because I know you speak very highly of them, and some splits can be not so nice, but it felt like this was actually quite a nice one. Everything was very friendly in the parting of ways.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think both sides were disappointed that it just didn't quite work out, and I wouldn't say through any fault of anyone's. I'd love to have got a few more runs in across all formats, and then the way the team ended up setting up, there just wasn't quite enough room for me. And these things happens. I always kind of refer to the split, if you like, as they were playing at a 5 at the back with wing backs, and I didn't fit into that system, if that makes sense. I was really well valued there, and I love being a part of it, and made some lifelong friends. And especially AD and Giles White at the top there, they were fantastic. And once this opportunity came up, it was kind of best for all parties. And it's probably a blessing in disguise. There's not many splits in professional sport, if you like, that always end this well. But I'm forever grateful for the time and energy they put into me.
I'm delighted to hear that. AD seems like a good bloke. There was that video of him on social media was it in the South Africa T20, where he just came across so well. You think you're just a lovely man as well as a great cricket coach.
Mate, he's amazing. One of the best I've ever worked with, and I think that video specifically summed him up right there. I was out in South Africa at the time, and I texted him. I think I was going to see him the week or two after. I said, "AD, look, that video's gone viral. Everyone's saying what a great bloke you are." And he said, to be honest, he was furious with the media stuff putting it out there. He was like, "I'm just trying to be real and trying to be me. It's not for a show, and I hate it when they kind of post things behind the scenes." So you can see how humble he is, and yeah, he's one of the top guys. Nothing makes me laugh more than in the past in a championship game we'd be batting, or in a really important game, and he's sat there bidding on cattle for his farm back home. It's just he's different gravy, but one of the top guys.
Oh, that's wonderful. But you've moved to work with another top guy. I mean, you presumably there were irons in fires, I'm sure, but what was it about Derbyshire and Mickey Arthur that caught your eyes?
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty obvious to see, really, to be able to work with a world-class coach and be a part of a project. That's a word he uses a lot, and sometimes in sport it gets bandied around. But certainly with the signings we made over the last year or so, and the guys who kind of attracted to the club, it was a no-brainer to see where this club was going. And to kind of be hand-selected by Mickey and the guys here is a real privilege, and feel like it's early days, but I feel like my kind of game's already gone to the next level, and I'm hoping to kind of be a big player here for years to come.
And has he worked on anything specific with you? Like, what's he like to deal with on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, he's good. I think you talk about AD there, who's the brilliant man manager and really soft and quiet. Mickey's a bit more of kind of really passionate, a bit more in your face, and really challenges you. And I think that's a really healthy place to be, and certainly it's really worked well for my game. We don't talk about things too much in a technical sense. It's just approaching each innings, the mindset, the roles we're playing, and the absolute clarity he provides to everyone in his dressing room. That's a big hallmark of his. And I said I've been lucky to work with a couple of great coaches now.
And what I love about him, I don't know him, but I love the regard in which he holds county cricket, because there's a lot of detractors, people prepared to knock it. And I love that Mickey sticks his shorts on every morning and comes out and bats for county cricket.
Oh, absolutely. He's your man if you need that. He's the guy in the trenches with you at all times. And as you said, he's such a purist of the game. And I've never seen a guy, especially a foreign coach who doesn't necessarily have any ties here, be so committed to the club and so committed to county cricket. It's really special, and we're very fortunate that he kind of accepted this. I'm sure he'd have had his pick of things around the world, but he chooses to be here. He chooses to be at Derbyshire, and this is his home and his project.
Yeah, and as a club, it feels like as an outsider. I mean, I love everything about it. I've watched it's a proper old school county cricket ground. I know Fletch, the commentator on BBC. I know David Griffin, the photographer,
Yeah, absolutely.
statistician. It just feels like I think those two sum up actually what county cricket is all about, and Derbyshire just manages to encapsulate both the past and the present.
Yeah, absolutely, and a club with such rich history, and as you said, you're talking about two stalwarts of the clubs in very different aspects. You know, that's what's special about county cricket. People who devote their lives and careers to this great game of ours, and I think sometimes, I'm sure you've seen it from your end. You know, it certainly gets pushed down and down, and you know, I actually think it produces some pretty good cricket. I think it's a pretty good product on its best day, and it's produced some decent players over the years. And I think sometimes we should give it credit. And I think for sometimes as professional athletes and professional people, we forget how important it is to you know, Joe Blogs down the street. It's, you know, it's part of their lives, and they're going to be here long after we're gone. So it's kind of our responsibility right here and right now to keep pushing the game up and keep pushing the club up.
And right now, it seems to be going pretty well. It's lovely to see Pat Brown back bowling and taking wickets.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, and you know, if Pat, he's got such a raw natural talent. We've all seen it, and he kind of climbs those highs so early on in his career, and as many do, it's never as easy to stay there without the right support and right people around you. And it's great to kind of see him given that responsibility and belief that Mickey instills here, and for him to be such a big part of the dressing room and club already is a testament to him. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing the very best of Pat for the next few years to come.
And Sam, it's come in and shown that age isn't a number, or it is. No, it is a number. Sorry, it is just a number.
It depends how you view that. I won't mention it to him. No, but I said it. You know, class is permanent. It's obvious to see, and cricket's very much a skill-based game. So if you can kind of stay fit and healthy on the park, I think your skills are always going to talk for your own ability. And you know, that kind of experience, that kind of belief and leadership that he's brought to the club, as long as many other guys like Ross Whiteley and David Lloyd, as Mickey likes to refer, he brought in guys who won all across the world in all different formats and all different conditions. And I think that's very much getting instilled in the club, as it's obvious to see.
It's wonderful to see, and a big win over Notts that had gone down well with the home faithful.
Yeah, it was amazing, and for me, again, you know, relatively new to the whole thing, to see how much that meant to everyone in the stands and people involved. And I remember seeing Griff after the game, and he was, you know, he's borderline in tears. You know, it'd been 10 years of hurt for them, and to see how much that local rivalry means and how much a game of county cricket means, it was amazing to be a part of it. It was absolutely rocking. I think we might have been blessed to have a few of the Derby County football fans in there, so it was getting nice and rowdy. And to kind of feel that energy and to feel that buzz at our home ground was, you know, a really special place to be. And hopefully we can kind of create more nights like that.
Oh, I've got my fingers crossed for you. Aneurin Donald, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you. Cheers, Sam.